Memorial Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. The Memphis Tigers welcome the Houston Cougars to town in the season finale for both. Head coach Tom Herman has been a man at the helm of the Cougars for each of the last 2 seasons. And it's been a whirlwind 2 seasons for Herman since arriving from Ohio State after winning a national title with Urban Meyer. It's been even a crazier last 17 hours. The hottest candidate in the coaching circles of college football has been linked with the LSU job and also Texas if that one comes open. So here we are today. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Houston's Heisman Trophy winner and College Football Hall of Famer Andre Ware. You understand where Tom Herman is coming from and his people. He is sitting on a lottery ticket, but the timing is unfortunate for Houston fans and these players.
Yeah, I'm okay with coaches entertaining jobs. I'm okay with coaches taking other jobs. It's just the timing of this when there's still meat on the schedule. When you look at it, the fans are disappointed. Parents of this team, they're disappointed right now. And how can this team focus? I watched this happen a couple of years ago when Kevin Sumlin was being wooed to Texas A&M. Players were unfocused. They got it handed to them against Southern Miss. You talk to players from that team, they still tell you it was a distraction.
Houston's coming off of a big win against Louisville. This is an early morning start here in Memphis. We'll see how they deal with that. We'll hear from head coach Tom Herman with Cole Kublik in just a moment.
Coach Herman, how have you prepared your team? Describe for me how you've prepared your team mentally for this game this week.
Well, no different. You know, I said, basically the intensity, the passion, the level of energy that we played with last week, we have to match that this week on the road against a really good football team that's playing their senior day with an opportunity to improve their bowl positioning.
How have you addressed with your team the reports that there are multiple schools interested in your services and you might not be the head coach at Houston next year?
Honesty. Don't believe anything that you read.
Can you confirm those reports are false?
Absolutely. Sure.
So how have you instructed your agent to handle your situation moving forward?
I'm not going to talk about any other job except the one I got right now and these kids.
Okay. As a former player, I've been in a situation with a coaching change. I know it can be challenging. How will you handle that with your kids today?
There's nothing to handle except beating Memphis.
Your focuses lie strictly with beating Memphis today?
100%.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
This has been the Nissan pregame rush as Memphis and Houston meet for the 25th time. Memphis won the toss. The Tigers have elected to receive. We'll see if that distraction is an issue for the Houston team today, coming off one of the 2 biggest wins of the season Thursday night against Louisville. Tony Pollard, always dangerous, back to receive this kick, and he takes it at the 10. Pollard has it past the 20, pops his own man, and out to the 25. One concern for Memphis coming into this game, the health of their junior quarterback, Riley Ferguson. He'll get the start for the Tigers.
Yeah, he is a terrific passer who can make every single throw necessary. He's a student of the game, really studies. He's well-traveled, started his career at Tennessee, bounced around a little bit, was out of football for a year, but made his way to Memphis, and he has been terrific this season. 24 touchdown passes to just 9 interceptions. Terrific athlete.
Last time out against Cincinnati, he left after the 2nd series after taking a hard hit, but we've been told that he practiced all week for this Memphis team. And he wants to throw it on first down to Anthony Miller, the school's all-time leader in receiving yards. Miller takes it for 7. He broke Isaac Bruce's school record. You expect Memphis to put the ball in the air a lot, 25th in the country in passing.
Yeah, don't blink. Both these teams want to go fast, and Miller's the focal point. Team's MVP on offense this year.
This is a dangerous Houston defense as Daniel Montiel goes in motion from his tight end spot. Ferguson throws on the run, man wide open. This is Phil Mayhew, and Memphis strikes quick. A 67-yard touchdown. Ferguson, a wizard in this Memphis offense.
Yeah, it's the play fake, Tom, that does it. It sucks the corner, and it allowed Mayhew, who has some speed. He's got terrific hands. You throw it in his area, the 6'3", 210 frame, but speed to go with it. You're going to get the corner peeking at the top. That allows Mayhew to fake the block and then go up top. I mean, it was brilliantly drawn up.
Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. He's perfect for his career, and his 193rd is true. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Riley Ferguson with his 25th touchdown pass of the season, and Mayhew extends his streak. That's now 27 consecutive games with a catch.
Yeah, watch the play fake that happens right here with Ferguson in the back, but then you're going to get the double move. It sucks the corner up. Watch the play fake. He comes up on the RPO to the outside receiver. That left Mayhew wide open. Jeremy Winchester, the young corner for the Cougars, gets fooled.
Got to be a lot going through Tom Herman's mind today. And over the last week, really.
I just don't know how, Tom, you can keep it from kids. Smartphones, internet, all the things that the technology you have. Kids are reading it every single day.
No return for Brandon Wilson. What Tom Herman has is a tough-minded athletic quarterback in Greg Ward Jr., the senior from Tyler, Texas.
Yeah, he's not going to allow this team to fold a tent. Talented youngster. He's added about 15 pounds since last year's bowl game. A little more durable, has played all season through injuries. Ankle, shoulder, elbow, all of it. Just a tough competitor.
Fifth in school history in passing touchdowns, second in rushing touchdowns. Ward had a magical season last year and back at it, battling through injuries to both his ankle and his shoulder this season. Out of the shotgun, they'll run it on first down. This is Duke Catalan who breaks free, and Catalan able to take it for 9 on first down.
Yeah, he's an excellent career runner with the ball in his hands. Fantastic receiver out of the backfield as well. Comes into the game with 33 receptions. He can do it all.
Had a great game against Louisville, and he's versatile, as you mentioned. They split him out wide, so a 5-wide set for Greg Ward Jr. On 2nd and 1. They work the underneath route for a first down. That's Tyler McCloskey in a gain of 7.
Yeah, just a 3-man rush for Memphis. I can't believe they're going to stay in that long and already switching it up to go to a 4-man front here.
And a pitch to Catalan. Brought down by Jannard Avery and Ty Northern, gain of 2. Is this going to be one of those games, Andre, where defense is optional?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we may be in a track meet. We're already in one, and Houston's kind of behind about 100 meters in a 400-meter race.
Dylan Burden, the tailback now, out of this pistol formation. Memphis brings pressure, and they collapse on Burden. A gain of 1. Jannard Avery, the junior from just down the road in Grenada, Mississippi, with a tackle alongside Donald Pennington.
Yeah, they felt like when you have nothing on first down, you're going to get a lot of twist, a lot of bending inside, playing run on 2nd down and long because the Cougars are off schedule.
3rd down 8, the last 3rd down. Houston converted with the help of a penalty from Memphis. They drop 8. Ward scrambles, throws on the run, complete for a first down to the tight end Tyler McCloskey.
Boy, he's so dangerous. You play man-to-man, you run the risk of him breaking the pocket and making a play with his legs. If you play zone, he's a senior. He's seen it all. He'll pick you apart. Nice job by McCloskey to figure out his quarterback's in trouble and find a spot to get open.
Ward has started this game 3 for 4, the 1 incompletion, a drop. He'll ride the back and hand it off to Catalan. Forced out of bounds by Lanier, well out of bounds, and Catalan went down all the way up against the wall, deep into the Memphis bench.
Oh, what a
Still
fly.
hasn't gotten up. His quarterback, Greg Ward Jr., first man over to check on him. Good to see Catalan, the Texas transfer, sophomore from Houston, back on his feet.
I'll tell you, he got a block from a receiver. It's coming from outside in. Just stay with it. There's an edge player, and you see it right there that just frees him up, puts him one-on-one, and that's all you want in this game. Coaches work tirelessly to figure out a way to get in one-on-one situations. It's not always a receiver. It's a back on a linebacker, a back on a secondary player, the quarterback on a defensive end. But just to get yourself into that position, now it's me against you, and let's see who wins.
We're going to take a closer look at Catalon. Burden, the former walk-on, at tailback again. 2nd and 5. Ward throws, lob down the sideline. It is incomplete. Knocked away by the senior, Arthur Mollett.
Yeah, intended for the 6'2", 175-pound Keith Corbin on the outside. This is where Houston will make their living. They will throw a lot of 50-50 balls, but they have a lot of confidence in their receivers to go up and make plays. There again, one-on-one situation, me against you. And in that one, Arthur Mollett, their best cover corner, wins that battle.
10th play of the opening drive for Houston. They've already converted 2 third downs today.
Just showing a little pressure, 0 coverage across the board.
Ward, incomplete. No flag, trying to find Linnell Bonner. Coverage by Jonathan Cook from his safety spot.
And it looked like Cook may have arrived a little bit early, but the officials didn't see it that way. It's a small win for the Memphis Tigers. Cougars were on a roll, but they're going to hold to a field goal attempt here.
Ty Cummings is 3 for 4 from 40 yards plus in his career. Long of 47 this season. Senior from South Lake Carroll. This will be a 41-yard attempt for Cummings. Snap and hold are good. And Cummings fits it through to put Houston on the board. Is this a shootout? Sure does feel like it. Memphis scored just a couple plays in. Now Tom Herman's team answers with an 11-play scoring drive. These two teams played a thriller last season. Cougars came from behind to win it in the 4th quarter, and after Memphis struck first in quick fashion, Houston able to answer with a long drive to put a field goal on the board. Opportunity for another return from the 6. This is Tony Pollard. He's got 1 kickoff return for a touchdown this season. And he gets popped after the 27-yard line. Miller's a remarkable story as they swing it out to the opposite side now. And Phil Mayhew has a touchdown today. Tyus Bowser with the stop. Miller didn't get on the field his first 2 years. Now he's turned into one of the best receivers in the American Conference.
And he became an option last year for Paxton Lynch, but he was injured against this Cougar team. You remember, they were way up on the Cougs. He sat out with a hamstring injury.
Ferguson perfect to start this game. 4 for 4 on 2nd and 1. They hand it off, and there's a first-down run for Dorland Dorcius, junior from New Orleans, by way of Spring, Texas. It's a gain of 15. Howard Wilson the tackle.
Just inside, outside, kind of tenderizing the edges before they come back with Dorcius between the tackles.
Well, this is a Houston defense which was remarkable last week against Louisville, but they have looked tender today. And now another completion to the edge, and Kadarian Jones has a first down.
And I tell you what, Memphis has stepped on the gas.
First and 10 for the Tigers. This is a Houston defense which stuffed Lamar Jackson last Thursday night. But already today, they've given up 137 yards. Ferguson with the pitch to Dorcius. Down to the 11.
Tom and Andre, you see that tempo effective for Memphis right now. They have Houston trapped in a 4-man front. Much better run look, much more options that you can have against that look. The 3-man front is where Houston does a lot of different things. Memphis has them trapped now.
Well, they haven't gotten any pressure on Ferguson just yet. He's been so quick getting rid of the ball, and is again here to the outside. That's complete for a first down, and all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Tom, and to Cole's point, everybody thinks, well, the hurry up is to get you tired. Well, it is, but the main thing is we've caught you in defensive personnel that we like. And now we have the advantage in what we want to run offensively if you're on that side of the ball.
On 2nd and goal, they run it again. He's in. Touchdown, Dorsius. What a start for this Memphis offense. Memphis's head coach Mike Norvell, an offensive mind of his own. Kadarian Jones, 27 yards receiving on that drive. Dorsius takes it in for his 9th touchdown of the season. And Memphis says, wait a second, we're a story here today too. Arthur Marlette, one of 20 seniors honored here today in the home finale for this Memphis team. 7 were members of Justin Fuente's first recruiting class in 2012. They came to this program, many of them committed to a program that had only won 3 games over 2 seasons under the previous regime. Justin Fuente shows up, turns them into a fantastic program almost overnight. Now Fuente has Virginia Tech knocking on an ACC title over in Blacksburg.
And Tom, Memphis went through basically the same thing that the Cougars are going through this year with Tom Herman. Justin Fuente, about week 5, really became one of the top coaches around the country for job opportunities, and he had to face it each and every week, the questions. Now all of a sudden it's Tom Herman on the opposite sideline.
You know, we were here for the Mississippi game last year.
Yeah.
Before Ole Miss, he just told us straight up, here's what I'm looking for in my next opportunity. Justin Fuente never hid from the fact that he was looking for another opportunity, though still giving Memphis a chance to keep him if they could come up with something. Ward swings it out to Cadlon past the 30. And here's the thing. In this day and age of college football, and in this big business world, if you are a hotshot coach, you are sitting on a winning lottery ticket. But with those salaries come expectations, and those expectations cover everything you do in your life. Ward with an option look here. Perfect time pitch to Cadlon, and he's out of bounds after a 4-yard gain.
Well, I tell you what, well executed by Greg Ward to take it right to the face of the in-man defender in Memphis's defense. I mean, you've got to be willing to take that shot, and we know, well documented, that he's not 100% shoulder, elbow, ankle, all of it. But you see him there laying it on the line for his team in his last game in the regular season as a senior quarterback.
Blitz again for Memphis. Ward to the outside. Isaiah Johnson tracked down by Jonathan Cook. And Oliver's one of the top recruits in Group of 5 history, not just Houston history, and the freshman out of Houston's Westfield High School left that Louisville game in the 4th quarter. 3-man rush. Ward has all day. And it is complete for a first down to Linnell Bonner and a gain of 25.
And to my point, when things break down, now you're out of your route because of the timing of this pass by Greg Ward. Right now, the routes have broken down. He's just buying time, trying to find them, and no one does it better than Bonner, number 15.
It puts a lot of pressure on your secondary. Option look again. Cadlon stays in bounds and tiptoes up the sideline, and we'll see where they mark him out all the way down inside or right at the 10. It's a gain of 14. Herman said Urban does a better job than anybody at acknowledging how big a game is. He said he doesn't shy away from it. He lets his guys know this is the big game to win. Cadlon cuts back, great vision. He's in for Houston's first touchdown. Two long scoring drives for these Houston Cougars.
Nice job by the left guard, Mason Denley, to get up. He seals it off, and that allows Cadlon to get his momentum. Once you get those shoulder pads pointed towards the end zone, tough to bring him down.
4th rushing touchdown of the season for Duke Cadlon.
The story with Denley is he moved over from the defensive line last year. Still learning the position.
Ty Cummings for the point after. An 11-play, 75-yard scoring drive for Houston after an 11-play drive to get a field goal on their first possession. Duke Cadlon following that offensive line, the Cougs' first touchdown.
We prepared, we believed in each other, and then we went and got it done. Right?
Damn right.
Hey, and guess what? We going bowling!
It's a tradition that Mike Norvell brought with him to Memphis to break the rock after big wins, and usually it's a player that they choose to do so. We asked him why he was chosen to do it against SMU, and he said that was one of the most emotional points of the season, that the players would trust me enough to put me in charge to have that honor, going bowling again, and in his first season as the Memphis head coach. Not a good kick from Houston. It'll go out of bounds, and it will give Memphis better field position. Riley Ferguson, coming out of Matthews, North Carolina, originally went to Tennessee after suffering an injury at Tennessee and taking a redshirt year. Then Butch Jones signed this kid Josh Dobbs. You may have heard of him. He said that really hurt my feelings. I thought I was the quarterback of the future. They bring Dobbs in. Ferguson leaves. He ended up working for a fence company outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's a reverse into a flea flicker and the ball on the ground. And disaster for Memphis, going the wrong way. And they're going to be lined up for third and forever after a loss of 12.
A lot of pressure from this Cougar defense. And when you get in any kind of long situation, look for Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, to dial up pressure. If it's second and more than 7, they're going to bring it. If it's third down and long, they're going to bring it. Here, they may not, because it's third and Memphis to pick it up. You're just going to play safe, keep the ball in front of you, and make a tackle and force a punt.
Third in the pyramid. Here's Darrell Henderson with his first carry, and he rips off a big one.
Oh, boy.
Wow. He takes it all the way to the line to gain of 23.
Yeah, that's the risk you run when you go into some type of preventive measure where you just want to keep things in front of you. Well, through the middle, it opens up a lot of room in which to run the draw or a screen pass.
Houston shows pressure. They're going to try to run it with Ferguson. Run pass option, and he's got his man Henderson. Wow, a gutsy play, a first down and more on a gain of 18.
What patience on the part of Riley Ferguson. He didn't panic. Waited for Henderson to pop open. Watch him curl back. Now, this is improvisation right here. Henderson should have been blocking. He saw the quarterback in trouble and got open.
Ferguson 9 for 9 to start this game. Another RPO is a big play for Memphis inside the 20-yard line, and a gain of 19 to Anthony Miller.
Boy, the speed in which this offense is operating. It's blinding. 9 of 9 to start the game. Now his 10th completion. Riley Ferguson on fire for Memphis. Excuse me, still 9 of 9.
And we're not yet out of the first quarter. Ferguson has thrown for $170 and a touchdown. Henderson flanks him in the backfield. Pressure coming from the edge. Ferguson goes that way, complete. This will net a yard on forward progress. Anthony Miller, another catch. Cole?
Tom, you've mentioned RPO a few times. I spoke to Coach Norvell before the game. He said, we want to run right at this defense based on everything that they're going to give us up front. We think we can hit some big plays, but the big benefactor of that could be our run-pass option game if they adjust too quickly.
Yeah, Cole, they've basically taken the outside to open up running between the tackles. It's been the perimeter passes to get the Cougs widened out, and then they run underneath.
Play action again, tight end wide open. Complete to Joy Magnifico, his first catch, and he's inside the 5, all the way down inside the 3, and a gain of 12. Everybody getting in on the fun for the Tigers.
Well, you read and you watch the film on Riley Ferguson. He's so accurate with the football, both in the pocket and on the move, and it is on display right now.
Ferguson looks in zone, fires, complete. Touchdown Tigers on another quick hitter. Phil Mayhew with his second touchdown catch of the day.
Well, you talk about a quick release. When you get down inside the red zone, decisions have to be made quickly, and as a quarterback, you've got to get the ball out quickly. Look at that dart that Riley Ferguson throws inside. Just a little sit down because of zone coverage. We saw the Cougars bounce rather than follow in man-to-man. And he knew it right away that the receiver would be sitting right there.
It is a 21-point first quarter for Memphis behind quarterback Riley Ferguson, who has begun this game 12 of 13 against Tom Herman's squad. The Memphis Tigers on senior day with a breakout opening phrase.
You never know how this game's been played. You know, universities can leak certain things, and they have a candidate that they have their eyes on to make that one make a decision. Who knows if there's a deal in place with Tom Herman at LSU or not.
Officials get straightened out whatever they needed to straighten out. 1st and 10 for Greg Ward Jr. after the face mask penalty. Looking right the whole time, and it is complete on a crossing route to Linnell Bonner. Gets taken down after a gain of 7.
Well, he is really automatic. Very important to this offense is Bonner. Really understands route running, defensive coverages, where to be to help his quarterback Greg Ward out.
Ward looking for Chance Allen down the sideline. Kind of slowed on his route. Arthur Mollett, the senior, with the coverage for Memphis.
Yeah, you turn the film, you turn the video on, and you'll see that out of Chance Allen every once in a while. He's an outstanding player when he's in rhythm. When it takes a little longer, he'll slow it down. You just got to believe each and every time that the ball's coming your way, so that doesn't happen. 3rd down here for the Cougars. You got to keep pace with his high-powered Memphis offense. He'll convert right here. Look at the pressure. It's coming.
Ward will roll, throws on the run. Beautiful completion to Linnell Bonner for the 1st down.
And that's a check by Greg Ward. Saw the pressure and then decided to adjust the offensive line, roll to his left. Not right, but left, where Bonner was lined up.
After 1 quarter of play, every team has scored on each of its possessions. Memphis with a 21-10 advantage. College football will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Third drive of the game for Houston continues. Duke Catalon is the running back. Play action over the middle. Tight end McCloskey has it, and he has 6. Touchdown, Houston.
Boy, excellent job with the play fake. It holds the linebackers because you have to respect the run. And watch what it does to the defense. The linebackers, they come up. You see the false step. That allows McCloskey to get himself open behind the 2nd level of the defense. And then it just becomes a foot race. Boy, play action, devastating.
Point after is good. 21-17, our lead in this Mid-South shootout. Memphis on top of number 20, Houston. One of the loneliest men in the stadium, Houston punter Dane Roy. On the other side, Spencer Smith knows what it feels like. We haven't seen one single punt today. Both teams have scored on every possession. And Memphis will have a chance for its 4th field goal in its first 4 possessions here in a moment.
You had a group of Memphis players, skill position players, quarterbacks warming up on the sideline. That's 6 plays. Just kind of keeping themselves ready to go.
From the 5-yard line, Tony Pollard takes it out to the 27. 12 of 13 to start his day. Dorland Dorcius weaves his way up the middle for a gain of 3. Nick Thurman and Matthew Adams there on the stop. What are we seeing from Houston's defense today? Because this is a team that was remarkable last week against Louisville, 2nd in the nation against the run, and held Lamar Jackson to just 1 touchdown. He came in with 46, but Riley Ferguson has been picking them apart.
Well, it's been just the outside edges where that's not one of the strong suits of this Cougar defense.
And here he is on play action over the middle, complete to Miller, who's into Houston territory. gain of 23.
When you have a guy like Miller and Mayhew, that's where you go first. Work away at the outside edges, get the defense to spread itself out, and then you can run the football effectively. You see everybody inside, all the bodies inside. Why would you run there? And that's what I like about Chip Long and this offense of Memphis. When you study them, they go where you're not. They're not going to force it inside with all the bodies inside. Hey, we got two receivers that can certainly operate in one-on-one a situation. And keep an eye up top. You got one-on-one that you want.
Safety blitz. Ferguson steps up but can't get through. He's taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Stephen Taylor from his linebacker spot with a stop.
You know, and when you go through the process as a quarterback, the receivers have to be on the same page. Those routes got to speed up a little bit faster. Wanted to get rid of the football there a little bit quicker, but the receivers were still in a route that they did not detect the blitz.
Third and 10, play action again. Almost picked through the hands of Miller and then off of Howard Wilson. And for the first time today, it seems Memphis will not score a touchdown as they bring out the kicking team.
Oh, and it was there. You talk about the slant, the play action. Miller was wide open. Watch the timing. Howard Johnson's their best cover man. Usually pretty reliable in that situation. 5 interceptions on the year coming in for Howard Wilson, the sophomore out of DeSoto, Texas.
Jake Elliott on for a 40-yard attempt, the all-time leading scorer in Memphis history, better than Steven Gostkowski and D'Angelo Williams, and this one is good. So the Tigers have scored on every possession but held to a field goal for the first time today. The shootout is on in Memphis. Well, Beale Street was as quiet as I've ever seen it last night on Thanksgiving night, but thanks to the folks at the Peabody Hotel for hosting our crew for our Thanksgiving dinner, and thanks to everybody for being on the road during the holidays. We've got a great one today and a fun one. Buckle up. It might be a while. You could probably have a turkey sandwich, take a nap, and return, and we might be in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. Or you could just stay tuned in while you're getting that second and third helping of turkey.
Memphis show blitz for a moment. They back off. Ward setting up a tunnel screen, and that one is blown up. Chance Allen had no chance on that one. Donald Pennington blew him up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Pendleton was helped off the field earlier with an ankle injury, but this is a nose tackle coming all the way outside. Big run plugger, and you see the intensity in which Donald Pendleton plays with. Active player up front, and a long third down here for Greg Ward Jr. in this Cougar offense.
Third down 22. Memphis brought a zone blitz on the right side. Ward can't escape, and Houston will be forced to punt for the first time. Chris Morley forces Ward out after a gain of 2.
I tell you what, credit to the courage of defensive coordinator Chris Ball of Memphis. He didn't sit back in zone coverage. He wanted to force the ball out of Greg Ward's hands, brought some pressure to make sure he didn't have the time necessary for routes to develop down the field.
So here's Dane Roy, the freshman from Australia, 27-year-old true freshman. He's turned it on lately. His first punt is fielded and taken out of bounds by Anthony Miller. 40-yard punt, one on the return. Roy can say he participated today. Season finale for these two programs. Memphis leads Houston 24-17. Up and down season for these Houston Cougars. Meanwhile, Memphis coming on strong. What do you expect from Riley Ferguson?
Well, at some point, you're going to get a hitch and go, a double move, because these corners, Howard Wilson and Jeremy Winchester, he's starting to bite on the quick throws outside. That's when you start to double move guys.
They show the jet sweep play action. They set up the screen. This is Darrell Henderson. He's got breakaway speed. Henderson lost his shoe. He blew out, turns into a gain of 15. Could have been so much more.
And once again, taking advantage of the aggressive nature. They turn that front loose, bringing Ed Oliver, Calvin Malvo, Cameron Malvo. How do you offset it? The screens or draw.
Patrick Taylor, and he pushes his way for a first down. This is a big kid, freshman from Humble, Texas, stands 6'3", 216.
Well, They really like him. He can flat out fly for a guy his size. You see him here, and this is where, if you look, you go back and watch the Navy game, it was on the ground. SMU on the ground.
Again outside to Anthony Miller. And Miller gets wrestled to the ground by Brandon Wilson. Is there any time where tempo would work against Memphis?
Not so far. I mean, it's been spot on. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not allowing this Cougar front seven to get to the quarterback.
Another slant, that one through the hands of Miller.
Let's go back 2 plays ago on that slant to Mayhew, and an outstanding catch. But you'll see 41, Stephen Taylor, right in the throwing lane. And that's throwing a guy open high away from the defender and letting Mayhew go up and make a nice grab. Taylor's got an interception on the season. He does everything for this Cougar defense. Times blitzes perfectly. There was in position to make a play and just couldn't make it.
3-man rush. Ferguson into coverage and a huge hit on Anthony Miller by Khalil Williams.
I mean, throwing into all type of traffic. That's what will happen sometimes when you get a receiver as talented as Anthony Miller. He'll spoil you. And he'll take you away from where you should go with the football. Outside, not in there, in a congested area where 3 Cougar defenders are waiting on him to come inside.
29-yard attempt for Jake Elliott. 2-time American Conference Special Team Player of the Year. And Elliott punches it through, his second field goal of the game. Memphis with a 27-17 lead. He arrived in Ohio State from Iowa State. And now the rumors are swirling that Tom Herman won't be long for Houston. Ward facing pressure from the edge. Can't get away from it.
What a play.
Memphis brings him down for the first sack of the game. Christian Johnson.
What a play by Johnson. Excellent pass rusher. He provides good depth coming in off the bench. One of the top pass rushers in the state of Tennessee out of high school as a senior when he had 18.5 sacks his senior year.
And that's his first this season for the Southwind High School product. 3-man rush. Ward to the outside, complete to Isaiah Johnson.
Tom, you remember the last drive. That's where they really got the Cougars into a bad situation and forced the first punt of this game, was when he got behind the down and distance markers. Same thing happening right here with that sack on Greg Ward.
3rd down, 13. Ward over the middle. Behind his receiver and intercepted by Memphis. Tigers with a takeaway. It's Sean Rupert with his first pick of the season off the fingertips of Isaiah Johnson. It's the lightning package for Memphis.
Yeah, the offensive line did an outstanding job of picking up the late pressure, and he's trying to go to Isaiah Johnson right here, thrown behind him. He's the speed receiver, not really known for his hands. Goes right off of the left hand into Rupert's chest for the first turnover of this game.
Talking with defensive coordinator Chris Ball, he says we go to our lightning package on 3rd down, the best pass rushers, the best cover guys, and we go at it. And Rupert with his first pick of the year.
Don't be surprised if you see Ferguson, Riley Ferguson, take a shot here. Big turnover, excellent field position for the Tigers.
Pressure coming. Away and complete to the outside. And Phil Mayhew, he's got the sideline and finally dragged down by Garrett Davis.
Boy, the speed in which they can hit the gas or take their foot off of it. They make you think they're going to take their foot off of it, go into the running game to start the drive. 3 consecutive plays, and then the flip to Mayhew. Just off balance.
Here's Dorcius. On that play prior, Mayhew went over the century mark, 112 yards on 5 catches. Meanwhile, Dorcius is doing his work. He's averaging nearly 6 yards a carry, and he'll catch a breather.
And Tommy, my point is that this Cougar defense just has, they've been off balance since the start. Since the Mayhew reception for a touchdown, really, they've been playing on their heels.
2nd and 9. Here's Henderson. Can we get that G5 to take us to Nashville tonight? Game? We got Tennessee and Vandy tomorrow night. Big game for both teams. A lot on the line for all of the in-state teams here in the Volunteer State, because Memphis can improve their bowl standing with a big win, which would be an upset against Houston. Vandy's trying to get bowl eligible.
Got a lot of room right here in which to work. The corner inside, you may be thinking a slant and go, or a hint inside and up the field.
Option to the right side. Darrell Henderson near the marker. Gain of 4. They'll say first down Memphis. They'll be looking at a 1st and goal now.
Well, these two backs, Henderson and Dorcius, been outstanding today in the run game. And they're outstanding because the 5 guys in front of them, and they throw in a 6th, and Montiel, the tight end, did a heck of a job up front.
Ferguson hands it off. Straight ahead is Darrell Henderson for a pair. 2nd and goal forthcoming.
And it wouldn't surprise me if immediately Chip Long at some point here doesn't pick at a scab. And that's what Howard Wilson leaves the game. Whoever takes over. Winchester's moved over, but to find out who else has come into the game and their nickel package. But that's where I'm going to pick if I'm Chip Long, the offensive coordinator for Memphis.
On 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Darrell Henderson. Khalil Williams got run over. It's a 2-yard touchdown plunge.
Nice job by the left side of the offensive line, just holding up. Trayvon Tate, the left tackle. Dustin Woodard, the true freshman at left guard. That's just an excellent job in the effort department by Henderson, putting that hand on the ground to keep himself from going down short of the goal line.
It's his 5th touchdown of the season, touchdown run. And while the targeting penalty didn't have a ton to do with the touchdown drive, 9 plays, 56 yards, it could certainly have a lasting effect on Houston's defense. Our score at the half, 34-17 Memphis. Capital One halftime report is coming up after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Coach, excellent half for Riley Ferguson. How impressed with you were your quarterback in that first half?
I thought he did a good job, managing the perimeter, getting the ball out quick. I'm excited that we're able to run the ball a little bit. With something we got to continue to do, and we still had a couple drops that we've got to get cleaned up and maximize all our opportunities.
Felt like tempo was a big advantage of yours in the first half. How do you continue allowing yourself to use that as an advantage in half number 2?
Yeah, it's all about efficiency. So we want to play fast, but we got to make sure we're efficient in what we're doing. Defensively, we got to get off the field on 3rd downs there. But I really like the energy our guys are playing with.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Tom Hart alongside Heisman winner Andre Ware. This weekend, Tom Herman will continue to be the story in college football. But if Memphis keeps playing like this, they might upset that story because their offense has been magnificent.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think that at this first drive for the Cougars, very important to get back into this football game. They got to have some points. And it's been because Memphis offensively so fast, so quick with the pace to keep this Cougar defense that we know loves to blitz. They've been keeping them off balance all game long. So it's important this opening drive to go down and get some points.
Like Norvell's team, magnificent first half. They start the second half with a 34-17 lead. We'll remind you that they had a 20-0 lead last year in this game, but lost that lead and eventually lost the game. From inside the goal line, Brandon Wilson. Wilson out past the 30, and he's taken down at the 34-yard line. Let's go down to the field and check in with Cole Kubler.
Tom spoke to Coach Herman coming out from halftime. Asked him about the tempo and pace of Memphis. He said it was a little bit faster than we expected. We got caught in 4 defensive lineman sets a little bit too much. As for offensively in the second half, asked him if he wanted to get the run game going. He said, you know, Cole, we would love to. However, the clock might not allow us to be that kind of an offense. Greg Ward Jr. has been great through the air. Most likely, we will rely on him in the second half.
So down 17 to start the second half. Tom Herman linked to the LSU job, which is currently open. Linked to the Texas job, which is, as of now, Charlie Strong's. Longhorns close their schedule this afternoon. Ward flushed, and he will dump it incomplete.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Oregon's been mentioned. Last night, I had friends at the Texas A&M game. They were chanting his name at Kyle Field. I mean, he is a hot name right now.
It's another November swoon for Kevin Sumlin and his Aggies. Former Houston head coach. And then there's always a possibility that LSU, after flirting with Jimbo Fisher, keeps Ed Orgeron after all that. You see the videos from the LSU locker room last night?
You don't know if that story was leaked by LSU to make Jimbo Fisher or force him to make a decision.
A great point. Politics involved at every turn. As Greg Ward Jr. takes it for a run of 11 and a first down. And, of course, if the folks on Herman's side are trying to get Texas to act, then it would be in their best interest to get LSU involved as well. The swirling carousel will continue for some time, but it is unique that both Houston and Texas will wrap up their regular seasons this afternoon. Chance Allen with the reception there for the Cougars. Gain of 8. What needs to happen on this opening drive for Houston?
Points. I mean, points of any sort, because the way Memphis is going offensively, you're going to have to score just about every possession and force a couple of punts, but they've been so explosive, so right on, that he's right. Limited time to get on the scoreboard.
On 2nd and 2, thinking deep. Instead, Ward will scramble, and he gets knocked out of bounds. Cole?
I thought maybe a late hit out of bounds on Greg Ward, who was a little bit slow to get up. There's an Art Avery, a talented linebacker, along the sideline right there.
Five wide for Greg Ward. And it is incomplete, off of the hands of Memphis's Arthur Mollett, the senior, trying to finish with a bang and a missed opportunity.
Well, it kind of baited Greg Ward into throwing. They're going to throw a hitch along the sideline. And a smash route gives the indication he's going to stay up, and then comes right back into it. It hit him right in the middle of the 8. Mollett rarely misses an opportunity like that.
They drop 8 again. Ward completes this one to Chance Allen. Pickup of 6. That will leave 3rd and about 4. There's Mollett with the tackle for Memphis.
You see why they're so high on him. Excellent cover skills, but then a willing tackler. And they pointed to him as the team's MVP on defense this year. Excellent playmaker in that secondary.
3rd down 4. Ward deep down the sideline. Caught. Touchdown, Chance Allen. Flag down in the Houston backfield after that 35-yard strike.
Oh, boy. And it looked as though Chauncey Lanier had...
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 6.
Not a hold.
That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Well, they needed points, and they got them.
One of the corners to that side, I thought it was Lanier, got tangled up, and he slips. It allows Chance Allen to come free, and what a nice ball Greg Ward threw for the touchdown reception.
A 7-play, 65-yard drive to open the second half for Houston. Do they have another big comeback in them? They did it last year against Memphis.
Greg Ward Jr. did it in the Armed Forces Bowl when he took over at quarterback before Tom Herman ever showed up. They have a flair for the dramatic in H-Town. A couple of touchdown passes for Greg Ward Jr. today as Houston looks to mount a comeback on the road at Memphis. It's now a 10-point game, one possession into the second half.
Kickoff into the end zone. You get the ball at the 25-yard line. You punt it into the end zone. It comes out to the 20. Tell me how that makes sense.
I got nothing for you. Let's see if Riley Ferguson and Memphis can answer. Now on 1st and 15, this is Anthony Miller able to pick up 5.
Well, they've done a nice job getting the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Miller, Mayhew, Dorcius, Henderson. When it's coming from so many different angles, it's hard to pinpoint or stop or lock down one playmaker. You got that many guys contributing, makes it tough on a defense.
Stephen Taylor with a tackle on Darrell Henderson after a gain of 2. Incomplete, trying to find Phil Mayhew. And so that's a quick 3 and out for Memphis, and that was the question back to the first half. How can tempo backfire on Memphis? Here's one way.
Yeah, when you're not moving it, when you're not collecting first downs and allowing yourself the opportunity to go fast, when you're trying to tempo and you're in third downs and you're not converting on third downs, that's how you stop it.
First punt of the day for Spencer Smith. Colin Wilder takes a fair catch after a 39-yard punt. They swing it out to Duke Catalan. Good blocking by McCloskey, and Catalan is able to find a couple. Curtis Akins with the tackle.
Tricked us with that Aflac question. Just thinking hard, long about that.
Houston at one point was down 17 in this one, 34-17 at the half. Scored on their first possession of the second half. They forced a couple of Memphis punts here in the third quarter.
Pressure again. They're in the middle.
That's Avery. Here's Catalan. Able to pick up 4. Jannard Avery with the stop.
Well, these two defenses, they're a lot alike in terms of bringing pressure. Memphis, they wanted to be physical, even with the receivers. You know, when they catch the football, and make them feel it.
On third down, it's incomplete. Trying to fit it into Linnell Bonner. And Houston will have to punt it away. Chris Morley, the safety, with the coverage.
He makes up for that touchdown pass he gave up to Chance Allen right there. Just a simple out route, making sure that Bonner gets to the sticks. It's a nice job, little pivot route back outside, and it's thrown a little bit behind him and low, which allows Morley to get a hand on the football.
Dane Roy's going to take off with it. And the freshman from Australia converts on 4th down for Houston. It's an 11-yard run for the former Aussie rules player.
Well, look how far back he is to punt the football and how far he's got to go to pick up the first down. Really sells it. Memphis in pure return on special teams. And that'll drive a coach crazy right there. You've done all you needed to do to get off the field, and you allow a punter to run for a first down.
And there's no excuse. They saw it last week. He had a 15-yard pass to Byron Simpson on a fake punt against Louisville. Tigers bring extra men. The slant's there to Bonner, and he escapes the first man again. Big time play by Linnell Bonner. It goes for 16 and another first down. He eluded Chris Morley, the first man to him.
My man Barkley used to say, live by the 3, die by the 3. Well, you live by the blitz. In this game, you wind up dying by it. Look at this big cluster of 4 up top.
It's a run all the way. And Greg Ward Jr. scampers out of bounds after a gain of 11.
That was until the Golden State Warriors came around years ago.
They've been living and living by the three.
Yeah, they've seemed to survive the threes.
So a little sleight of hand with quad receivers to one side, and Ward took off the other way. Pistol now with Catalan behind him. It'll rise and fire. Chance Allen gets wrestled to the ground by Chris Morley.
Well, nice recognition once again on the part of Greg Ward. They try to go corner blitz and bring the safety over the top, and it's the matchup you want again. Worley against Chance Allen.
2nd and 1. Catalan bottled up, and he'll be dropped for no gain. Jonathan Wilson there, the Louisiana native.
And both teams now have the personnel on the field. Cougars have not gone to a huddle because they like the personnel in which Memphis is trying to play in.
Nor have they subbed to give Memphis a chance to sub. 12th play of the drive.
There's the matchup. Big receiver, smaller corner. You have Bonner at the top in the slot, maybe on a corner route.
Option. Ward cuts it back up, takes a hit. No gains. Sharif White there with the stop. And that's going to bring up 4th and about 1. You take the kick.
No, I think you go for it. You got some momentum. You need touchdowns to get back in this game. He's going to go ahead and elect to kick it. But 4th and short, I'd give it to Big Duke Catalan and let him pick up the first down for me.
And something consider, it's not 4th and goal from the 3, it's 4th and 1.
Yeah, you can pick up the first down and get a fresh set of downs here.
And the chip shot is good. Houston's defense has picked it up in the second half. Tom Herman's offense has scored twice. We've got a touchdown game. All right, Stan, thanks. In a rivalry weekend, nothing like handing your rival a big-time loss. That's what teams NC State's getting ready to do to Carolina. These two teams here in Memphis meeting for the 25th time, and that Houston sideline is fired up. They won 6 straight against Memphis, but they had to come from behind last year to do so. Tony Pollard has 2 kickoff return scores this season. He won't have a chance here. And now on the ground, and Dorland Dorsey carries guys with him to the 45, a gain of 8. Matthew Adams, the stop.
Chip Long really has a pulse on his offense. When to go fast, when to pull up. They come out in an aggressive mode, a pass on first down, and come back to a run underneath the Dorseys. Nice mix of play calling here.
3rd possession of the second half for Memphis. They've had to punt it away on each of the first 2. Ferguson, deep ball, right sideline, incomplete, no flag. Jeremy Winchester had the coverage on Anthony Miller.
He makes a play on the football just at the right time. The young sophomore Winchester, of everyone in that secondary, they certainly pick on him. And you see the head turn just at the last second, along with making a play on the football. They're not going to call that. It's not pass interference.
3rd down 8. Ferguson can't get rid of it, and he flicks it back towards the line of scrimmage. He was being chased by Tyus Bowser.
Nice job by this defense. Aided in a false start penalty. Get them into 3rd and long, and they rise up and going to force another punt here.
Spencer Smith to punt it away. Colin Wilder waits. Fair catch asked for, and Wilder in traffic at the 27. Ward on the run. Was scooped up just above the turf by Stephen Dunbar. He's able to take it for a first down. Gain of 17.
And you see Dunbar work his way back to the football. Watch the push off, and then this, working back to the ball. Otherwise, that ball's going to fall short of his feet and fall right at the shoestrings of Stephen Dunbar.
Didn't need any on that one. picked up the first down with the grab, and then they go back to the perimeter, and a gain of 6 at time for Stephen Dunbar.
Kind of a page out of Memphis's playbook. Start working the edges with Bonner and Dunbar. Mix in a little Chance Allen, and then you go right back to Duke Catalon when you get Memphis spread out, trying to get underneath the routes on the outside.
Complete to Allen, had his knee down, a gain of 6.
I think both these defenses, they're ready for a little hitch and go action. You got a couple of corners on both sides of the field driving on balls aggressively. Double move time. That'll be our final play. We won't even get it off. We'll go right on into the fourth quarter here.
Greg Ward Jr. is putting up Andre Ware type numbers. Is this the run and shoot? 33 of 50 for 346 and 2 scores. Trying to get Houston back in this fourth quarter in a second half comeback. College football continues after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN, and this is turning into a classic as we hit the fourth quarter. Greg Ward Jr. trying to will Houston to another come-from-behind win. It's a 7-point game, and Ward banged up after picking up that first down a couple plays ago, limping his way through second half of this game.
5 wide. Be aware for the quarterback run here. Watch the quarterback draw. Maybe he picks it up. If not, you get it to 4th and 3 or less. You think about going for it.
He wants to throw all the way over the middle, complete for a first down to Bonner. Gain of 12, and for Bonner, his 12th catch of the game.
Boy, just automatic on 3rd down is Bonner.
Now Catalon. Nobody picks up the defender, and Catalon gets chucked by Jonathan Cook. It's a loss of 1.
And he felt that one from Cook. Cook's had a couple of big hits in this game, but they go to 4 receivers in a bunch. Haven't seen that much. You see 3 a lot of times, but that's just a heck of an open field tackle right there by Jonathan Cook.
Last time they went to the bunch formation, it was a quarterback draw. Four-man rush. Ward over the middle again. Caught again by Linnell Bonner. He's been targeted 19 times this afternoon.
Cole's right. He is. Call him Spot Bonner. Catches it. He goes right down at the spot.
Ward looking for the pylon. And he gets popped out of bounds by Mollett. Just 1 yard on the carry.
Oh, that's as fiery as I've ever seen. Greg Ward, he comes back and gives it to Stephen Dunbar. He wanted the block and didn't get one from Dunbar.
Burden in the backfield. Play action looking for the screen. They swing it out, and it's knocked down by Avery, who had clear sailing if he could have hauled it in.
If he catches that one on the run, nobody's going to catch the big fella. Denard Avery. What a break on the football. A little lazy with it was Greg Ward. Just took for granted he had an automatic throw until number 6 flashes in the picture.
Ward all the way, runs into his own man, then he runs into a Memphis man. Denard Avery with another big play. It's a loss of 6, and that'll bring up 4th and goal.
You meant that plurally, didn't you? Because there were about 4 Memphis jerseys that show up at the doorstep of Greg Ward Jr. Designed quarterback run to bring McCluskey around to lead the way. Catalon along with him, and tremendous penetration up front by the Memphis Tigers.
So a 26-yard attempt now for Ty Cummings, who's already made 2 field goals this afternoon. And that one is true. That was an 18-play drive for Houston, but it ends in only 3.
This is great to have that rivalry game back and have it mean something.
Tony Pollard
from the 1 to the 30 to the 40 where he gets flipped and a flag down.
It's usually a block in the back.
Here's Taylor. Pick up a 5. Cole.
Tom, last play you saw 2 tight ends for Memphis, 12 personnel. When I spoke to Tom Herman at halftime, he said, we saw more of that than we expected to in the first half. Now, we haven't seen much of it this half. So if Memphis is going to run some clock, get the ground game going, that's a formation they will rely on.
12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 back.
Pressure on Ferguson. Taken down from the blind side by Khalil Williams. First sack of the day for Houston.
First year as a full-time starter out of Hightower High School. I paid taxes in that school district. Good to see a young man making a play from right around the neighborhood.
They're going to hit you up for more Promethean boards there.
I'm paying enough, trust me.
3rd and 12. They show corner blitz and now drop it off. And they're going to run it on 3rd and 12. Patrick Taylor picks up 9. Garrett Davis up for the stop.
Khalil Henderson with that big sack. Once again, going to force another punt. Young man that played as a true freshman in 2014, and injuries forced him into action that year.
Surprise, Andre, they'd run it on 3rd and 12?
Yeah, I really am, but they're being protective right now and feel as though they have enough time to get something accomplished, whether Houston scores or not, to get back in the game and with another possession.
Spencer Smith is the Memphis punter. Colin Wilder waits to receive. Ground ball fielded by Wilder at the 20, kept it from getting all the way back, possibly even inside the 10. It's a 40-yard punt. So Greg Ward Jr. in Houston trailing by 4. They have yet to lead today. Tom Hart with Andre Ware. They've had some great quarterbacks on Cullen Boulevard in Houston. Greg Ward Jr. following a long line of greats, and he is as gutty as any of them.
Yeah, how talented is Greg Ward Jr.? Well, very. He can kill you from the pocket, sit and sort things out, throwing dimes down the field. You don't like that? Well, he can hurt you with his legs as well, making a nice play here, picking up a first down. And then you get him outside the pocket or allow him to sit there. He'll throw a nice deep ball right here to Chance Allen. Talented young man, very smart, finishes the sentences of his offensive coordinator, Major Applewhite. When they go through a check system, got a chance to sit in on a meeting before the bowl game last year. Major would pose him with questions. He'd finish them before Major would finish giving him the question.
He's been dealing with injuries really all season. Talking with Tom Herman before this game. How do you deal with that? How does he deal with it? Simple. Get a thicker mouthpiece. Just bite down.
Yep, a little bit harder.
Looking for a double pass. They get it away just in time, and it is incomplete.
Boy, Bonner with a scare. There's a Memphis defender. As soon as he touched the football and let it go, went low around the knee area. We'll watch it here. You're going to see Bonner right here bubble back. Watch the pass, clear lateral, but not sure the defender that comes in late may have been Jonathan Cook, the safety.
Empty backfield, 2nd down 10. Crossing route complete. Gain of 4. There's Bonner again. And that is his 14th catch and 20 targets today.
They're going right at the strength of this defense, the secondary. Excellent corners and Millette and Lanier.
Ward. Ooh! McCloskey pays the price. Gain of 5, short of the first down. It will leave 4th and 1. Dontrell Nelson is also down after delivering the hit on McCloskey.
What a lick from the senior reserve corner. We'll watch Greg Ward. He wants to go inside first, and they make him to McCluskey. Then he options, pivots back out. Never saw the defender coming. And I'm betting it's a shoulder for Nelson and maybe around the rib area for McCluskey. A guy like Greg Ward, all it takes is a crease. He's got Catlon in the backfield, but I would get him out in the route, and then that frees things up for Ward.
If you're just getting back from shopping, Houston has never led in this game. Memphis jumped out to a 14-3 advantage, and at one point led by as many as 17. Ward wants to throw. Out route. Caught by Bonner, and here he goes down the sideline. Linnell Bonner will give Houston its first lead of the day on a 55-yard reception.
Well, he was going to Bonner no matter what. And he throws into coverage, and the guy's hands are so good. What a grab by Bonner. A simple out route allows the defender to go by him. It's Jonathan Cook. You're going to put a safety on Bonner. You are asking for trouble, and they got it.
On 4th and 1, they go to the air. Point after is good from Ty Cummings. Greg Ward Jr. has engineered another comeback. They've outscored Memphis 20-0 in the second half. Cougars with a field goal lead with 7:02 to go from Memphis. What was a 34-17 Memphis lead at the half has dissipated. It's been all Houston in the second half behind Greg Ward Jr. 447 yards passing for Ward, the most in the American this season. Kick into the end zone. Yeah, more playing time for Terrell Williams, who's on the field now for Houston at a safety spot. And Dorsey is able to take it for 6.
And then if you're Tom Herman in this situation, you're a little bit nervous because you don't want this Memphis offense to get itself cranked up again. They can chew some clock and really leave you very little to get back in the game.
Back to the ground game. And Dorsey is wrapped up by B.J. Singleton, the senior from Destrehan, Louisiana.
And it's not Ed Oliver in the game right now.
Well, they've been rotating him in and out, playing with that knee brace.
It's really been obvious passing situations where kind of being spot played.
Third down 3. Blitz coming from the linebacker. Over the middle on the slant, complete to Anthony Miller again. A gain of 10. For Miller, his 11th catch. He's over 100 yards.
It's kind of a bad decision to leave a safety on Miller. You know, in the slot, put Garrett Davis on their most talented receiver, Anthony Miller. You're asking for trouble. You missed that tackle, and it's see you later bye.
7th 100-yard game of the career for Miller, for a former walk-on. Tony Pollard is bottled up. Loss of 1. Tyus Bowser there.
And you kind of sense they smell blood in the water, where all of a sudden the pressure is starting to come. And it'll come from different looks, 3 downs, 4 downs. They are playing downhill, whereas in the first half they were back on their heels a little bit because of the pace of the Memphis offense. Right now it's Houston defensively dictating the pace of how things are played here in the second half.
Ferguson pressured. Able to find Anthony Miller. It's a gain of 12.
He's trying to bring one more than you can protect against. And when you have an athletic quarterback like Riley Ferguson, he can step his way out of trouble, keeping his eyes down the field, and then you're going to give up some big plays because of the man-to-man look.
Garrett Davis running up to show blitz. Ferguson looking downfield. Here's Miller again. 2-yard gain for Miller, 13th catch.
Let's tack on another catch pretty much there for Miller.
Down by 3, and their kicker, Jake Elliott, is hit 9 from 50 plus. They are in his comfort range right here. Oh, into traffic, incomplete.
Well, that's when you turn your back on that play. It better be clean. As you had a Houston defender drop into the throwing area, the throwing lane, and there's no way Ferguson is able to see it because he was messing around with a play fake. You turn your back to the coverage and come back to it that quickly, it better be clean, or you need to eliminate and get to the next receiver. But that was almost a dangerous pass, certainly, and almost an interception.
It would be a 52-yard field goal from here. Elliott in his career has hit from 56. Ferguson, deep ball, says let's take the field goal out of it. Miller, got it! Touchdown, Memphis, Anthony Miller!
It's Winchester who they pick on. Both teams, Greg Ward going to his go-to guy, and Lionel Bonner. It's Riley Ferguson going to his go-to receiver, and Anthony Miller. I'm going to let it go, let Miller go up and make a play for me. What an excellent job of concentrating. You see the eyes all the way through the catch. What a play.
Anthony Miller is a former walk-on. He did not have a single catch his first 2 years in his program. He has since broken Isaac Bruce's record for single-season receiving yardage. 83 catches for Anthony Miller this season. 14 today for a $159. Tom Herman's team on the wrong end of a 41-37 score now as this back-and-forth affair continues from the Liberty Bowl. Both quarterbacks have their favorite guy in this game, and both favorites have made big plays. In fact, they just traded touchdowns with Bonner hauling it in for more. So Greg Ward Jr. comes back out for Houston. He has thrown for 447 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. So fresh set of downs.
Bonner at the top, uncovered.
Ward back over the middle. That's complete for a first down to Stephen Dunbar. Houston trying to reclaim the lead, 16-yard completion.
And this is like most tempo offenses. They get a first down. They're going to press the gas a little bit. 2:56 left here in the ball game.
Nebraska and Iowa now underway on ESPN News. We'll get you there as soon as we finish here in Memphis. Again, it's Bonner. Elenel Bonner fighting his way forward for Houston. Another first down for the Cougars.
Well, that's a great comparison Cole made to Anquan Bolden. Tough player. Watch him catch this one, coming on an end cut, breaking one tackle, immediately going to take a shot and still fighting for additional yards.
2.5 minutes to go. Houston down 4. Ward will take off with it straight up the middle, uses the official as a shield, and he's inside the 10. First and goal, Cougars.
Get in the end zone here, and you don't want to leave Memphis with a lot of time. Field goal will not do it. It's got to be a touchdown. You can see this Memphis defense getting a little winded. A lot of guys standing around with their hands on their hips.
They haven't been able to sub with Houston going no huddle. Duke Catalan inside the 5.
That seems to be the thing with this Memphis team. They're not really tackling. They're trying to strip the football, and by that, Catalan's falling forward for another 2 or 3 yards.
Ward looking patient, in zone, caught, touchdown Houston. Chance Allen with the toe tap in the back of the end zone.
What a nice job. Just throw it high with Allen back in the back corner of the end zone and just see if he can make a play. If not, it's going out of bounds. You come back on the next down. But what a play by Chance Allen. This may be a little bit better. How about that? Get the field goal, the extra point here, and all Memphis will need is a field goal to tie it and get it to overtime. 129 with 3 timeouts left.
Point after is good. A 7-play, 75-yard drive directed by Greg Ward Jr. Tom Herman has his team on minute 29 from escaping with the victory. Ward directing another comeback for the Cougs. Welcome back to college football, presented by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. Greg Ward with a remarkable second half. He's thrown for 489 yards total on the day with 4 touchdowns. From the 11. And out to the 26. Tony Pollard, a game breaker, is in the backfield with Riley Ferguson. Ferguson pulls it back, trying to run for it. Change of direction. Beautiful move with the vision from Ferguson. Taken down by Adams after he shook Cameron Malvo. Gain of 12.
You got Malvo thinking he was going to try to get to the sideline and then cut back inside on him.
1:10 and counting for Memphis. They have 3 timeouts. Here comes the blitz up the middle. Sideline route. Caught. First down and more. Phil Mayhew has Memphis in position on a 30-yard reception.
Yeah, the corner came up and tried to bump, missed Mayhew, left the safety vulnerable because he couldn't get from the hash over the top fast enough to help out.
Already within the range of Jake Elliott. A minute to go. Fade route Miller, too strong, flag on the play. That'll give him 15. Brandon Wilson trying to cover Anthony Miller.
Pass interference. Defense number 26. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, both corners struggling a little bit. When Howard Wilson went out of the game, it put a lot of pressure on Jeremy Winchester, and then Brandon Wilson, who usually plays inside over the slot in their nickel situation, has now had to go back outside. And that's allowing Riley Ferguson to really challenge the 2 corners.
It's been a whirlwind 24 hours for Tom Herman. Why should it get any easier?
Here comes the blitz.
Dorland Dorcius to the 10. 50 seconds to go. Timeouts remain.
You run that draw play, it has to be timed just right. You can't hand it off too quickly, and then you want to get the pursuit up the field so that it pops itself. Very close to perfectly executing right there.
Lots of eyes in Baton Rouge and Austin on this game as well. Ferguson flushed. And he gets rid of it incomplete before he goes across the sideline. Nick Thurman and B.J. Singleton chasing him. 23 seconds left. 3rd and 5.
And still, they've done all this damage without having to spend a timeout. Well, when you get into crunch time, where do you go? Keep an eye on number 3, Anthony Miller, who has done one heck of a job all day long in this ball game, along with Riley Ferguson, in terms of hooking up.
Dorcius vacates the backfield. Ferguson looks on the slant. Miller, yes! Touchdown Tigers! It's Anthony Miller again! Raise your hand if you love college football.
Aye. What a football game.
A walk-on who didn't see the field his first 2 years has pushed Memphis in front again. The key point after is good, and with 19 seconds to go, it's a 4-point Tiger lead.
And you're going to go safety with Garrett Davis, gives up inside position to the best receiver Memphis has. The result, Ferguson to Miller, touchdown. Just try to kick this one out of the end zone. Put them on the 20 and force them to go the distance in 19 seconds. All 3 timeouts for Greg Ward and his Houston offense. But 80 yards stands between them. And where's Bonner?
Ward pressured. Escapes. Floats it. Oh, almost picked. Missed opportunity for Jonathan Cook. 11 seconds remain. He was trying to find Dunbar.
And if you're Major Applewhite, you want a decision made faster. 8 seconds to run off that clock. Too much time. You've got to have some quick hitters to get out of bounds. Something to happen where you pick up a first down.
Ward flushed. And it is incomplete. No flag. 4 seconds left. Mollett, the senior, had the coverage on Bonner.
And the playmakers are starting to step up for Memphis when you need them. Riley Ferguson with a touchdown pass. Anthony Miller on the receiving end. And then their best cover corner, Anthony Mollett, making plays at the end of the game.
Memphis will drop 5 defensive backs past midfield.
Arthur Mollett.
Houston going for a hook and ladder. Catalan pitches it back. This is Ward. Ward keeps it alive, but that's where the game will end. Memphis covers it up. It ends on a takeaway. Tom Herman, the story of college football the last 24 hours, but today, Mike Norvell gets the better of him. And what could be the last game as the Houston head coach ends in disappointment. But for Norvell, the youngest coach in the FBS, a signature victory here as Memphis goes to 8-4 and await their bowl fate.
What a job by both sidelines. Both teams of just playing some tremendous football.
Remarkable ability for Memphis to come back in this one in the 4th quarter. Cole Kubelik is standing by with Mike Norvell.
Coach Norvell, you get to 8 wins on the season. Your first year as a Memphis head football coach. Just describe what this does to cap off season number 1.
It's all about these kids. We got an unbelievable group of young men who believed to the very end. We knew it'd be a 60-minute game, and we used every second of it. Great coaching staff. These guys are preparing them. We're excited about the future and where we're going.
What did you learn about these young men last game of the season, able to battle back, never showed any quit?
Oh, that's it. They've got heart. They've got character. We're continuing to build and where we're going. And the thing I've been most proud of about this football team is how they've responded. And I thought it was a first-class response today when some adversity struck.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Norvell, first head coach in school history to take a team to bowl eligibility in his first season, and they cap it with a remarkable game here this afternoon against Houston. Tigers over the Cougars 48-44. After the break, we continue with number 16 Nebraska and Iowa from Iowa City. For Andre Ware, Cole Kubelik, our fantastic crew, I'm Tom Hart. So long from Memphis.